Naomi with Sword and Steel, and sorry I've been away for a while, but had some things to take care of. This weekend, the new Chaos Army set came out, and Games Workshop gave me a copy, so I've been assembling it, and I thought I'd do a video about the new Knight Abominant and what you might find when you're assembling him. And notably, even though he is an alternate of he could be a Desecrator or a Rampager, one of the two. In the assembly guide, it only shows you how to build the Abominant, so you'll have to find, if you wanted to do one of the other variants of Chaos Knight that he could be, you'll want to find Rampager, is what I was looking for. You'll want to find the assembly guide on how to do them, which would be in, of course, the Desecrator kit, presumably. I have not actually built a Chaos Knight before this one, or find it online somewhere. But it's definitely a full Desecrator / Rampager kit with additional sprue to turn it into a Knight Abominant. I didn't fully assemble him yet, so I could show you everything. There's the Diabolus Heavy Stubber. I hollowed out its barrel, so it looked more realistic. It has the Volkite Combustor, which is this guy. It has the Bale Mace, which I definitely think must be his tail, which is super cute. Little Stegosaurus tail. Look how cute that is. If you wanted to magnetize it and not have this cute tail for all variants, then you're going to have to be wary that it's the butt piece that you're going to have to magnetize. You'll also, this piece right here, that if you want to magnetize the legs to the body, you want to put a magnet inside this and cut off this knob. And the magnet should be larger than the hole that is left through cutting off the knob. And then on the inside of this, you also put a magnet that's larger than the hole, or just put a sprue piece in the way. The Electro Scourge, this guy, which is great, and his Titanic feet, of course. And he's a Psyker, and we're going to test him out, give him a couple trial runs against some Space Marines today. Alright, so everything is actually quite straightforward, and everything fits well. Here's movement that you're going to want to make certain. So this thing should be able to move, back and forth and up and down when you're done with it. Yeah, this one doesn't go up and down, but it goes back and forth. I don't really know why you need to bother doing it back and forth. I don't know why you would have that feature. Really? I mean, it makes sense for a gun to want to go up and back and forth and around. I don't know why this one is, but I guess it means that you could put the gun on either side, whichever one you wanted it to be on. And then this one can basically go this far out and comes off like this. So instinctually you would think that you'd want to magnetize here and here, but if you're going to be using magnets to change up the weapons between the different knights, you unfortunately only get two of these shoulders, these pieces here. You only get the two of them, which means you're going to have to magnetize lower than here because you don't get any extras of these. So instead, you're going to have to magnetize it right here. So I would suggest cutting off the pieces that combine these two and putting magnets in this place instead, making certain your magnets are nice and strong. Probably at least a quarter of an inch by 1/16 round, possibly a little bit larger. Quite possibly. You want ones that can definitely hold this, but you can keep adding magnets of whatever size you got until there's enough strength to hold it. But in that way, it'll still have this movement. It'll still have the full movement that you have with the magnet. This guy twists around. Do 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 do. These three can go on in any form that you want, any which way that you want, really. Just a couple small things. These pieces right here, which allow this gun to go like this. In the assembly guide, it says to glue them right here and right here. But I did not glue them up here, which is why this movement is possible. There are 3 different extra heads, so beyond the Desecrator and Rampager heads, there are 3 different heads to choose from. Here is his face before you put on the masks. See, that's what he looks like without a mask. You will cover up most of all of this, so you probably don't want to put on his mask. Stop looking at me. You probably don't want to put on his mask until after you've painted this guy's face. What else? Oh yeah, just a small thing, really. You see this piece right here? See how at this angle you can see a hole? Well, that's not quite right. At this angle you can't see the hole. So the picture is just a bit off. It's still piece number 10 on the Abominant sprue, but the hole is actually on the other side in reality. And it, at least mine, didn't quite fit that well. Not perfectly. There was a bit of plastic, as if from the creation there was a bit of plastic in the way. A manufacturing flaw, basically. Just drown the piece of plastic in plastic glue and scoop it out with something so that it's nice and might fit in. Where was that? That piece was part of this thing. It's this piece right here. Another thing is that these 2 pieces, you put them together attached to this bottom piece first, according to the assembly guide. And then you attach this back piece and the front pieces. It's a bit troublesome to get them into these 2 pieces. I'm not certain why you wouldn't just put on one side piece and the 2 pieces here and then put on the last piece to join them all together. That might make it easier for you. But if you just do follow the assembly guide, note that it might be a bit of a struggle to get it in. It will fit, but it might be a bit of a struggle, so you can anticipate that. These guys right here, get out of the way. This lantern, light, maybe a light source of some kind. This, they attach at the bottom of this on each side. Might be easier to see on this side. See that one? The bottom of this thing is where those chains attach. It might not be that easy to see in the assembly guide, so that's where they attach. And I think there was something else. All right. I imagine you could figure it out easy enough, but I'm just going to say that you see it's all B numbered, B24, B26, and B25, and then it shows in the diagram that it's A25, A24, and A26. I don't know why they put A's. They are just talking about the B's, but for some reason they have A's there. It's not different pieces, it's just the same. I mean, that was pretty straightforward to figure out, but now you don't have to figure it out. And yeah, that's about it. Alright. So, as you can see, there's a lot of pieces left because I didn't choose Desecrator or Rampager. So, whole lot of pieces left. And as you can see, this is the parts that would connect right about here on him. So that's where you want your magnets. May need to be doing some cutting, but you'll be able to fit it in. And as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3 different helmet variants for the other two knights, and instead of the vultures, you've got spikes that you could put in there, which is probably what I would do. Got some random chains, little spikes. These are for the claws of, I think, the Rampager. There's some symbols, and you completely use the sprue that is for the Abominant. So we've got some intercessors. First is the Knight. And it's his turn, so he's going to go ahead and shoot at them, and then he'll charge in and fight them. So let's just see how he works. Okay, so he has a 10 movement, 3 plus weapon skill, 3 plus ballistic skill, strength 8, toughness 8, 24 wounds, 3 attacks, 9 leadership, 3 plus save. And the first thing he's going to shoot with is his Diabolus Heavy Stubber, which is 36-inch range, heavy 4, 5 strength, AP 0, and 1 damage. So it's heavy 4. Even if he moved in, he doesn't get the negative to having moved with a heavy weapon because he's a vehicle. So he's going to... Oh, I suppose we could do a power. He would do a power because he's a psyker. Okay, smite. We will do smite. Let's see if it works. It fails with a 3. Was really close to Perils of the Warp, actually. And then his other spell, let's choose a Coruscating Hate. Has a warp charge value of 6. So let's try that one. And you just fit. Okay. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So, Diabolus Heavy Stubber, heavy 4. Ballistic skill is 3+, so it needs 3 or better. We remove the fail. That's 5, 4, and 3. Success. Strength is 5. Their toughness is 4, since it's better but not double. He hits on wounds on 3. That's 3 successful wounds. A 6, a 5, and a 3. No armor penetration. 1 damage per. They have a save on 3s, so we're going to give them saves for each of the hits. 1 is a fail. That's 1 damage. They have 2 wounds each, so we'll put just a wound on one of them. Boop. And now he'll proceed to use his Volkite Combustor on them, which is heavy 6. So 6 dice, weapons, ballistic skill 3+. All our hits. Now this has a special thing for each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 3 mortal wounds on the target in addition to any normal damage. So we're going to now pay attention for wound rolls. The strength on this weapon is 10, which is more than double their toughness, so they will hit on wound on 2s. Oh, and we did get all hits, but 2 of them are 6s or sword and steels. 2 of them, so that is 2 mortal wounds in addition to normal damage, but mortal wounds are applied after the regular damage, so we'll keep that in mind. 6 mortal wounds are going to occur. Go ahead, and they have to save at a AP -1, so their saving roll is 3, so now it is up to 4. So let's see how much they save. They failed 2 of them. So that damage is going through. They succeeded on 4 of them. Alright, so each one of these is 3 damage. Now, normal damage does not splash over, so we just take out the wounded one, because the wounded one has to have damage applied to it first, and 1 other. Now, we have the 6 mortal wounds to take care of. Now, mortal wounds do splash over, so that will be 3 guys going. Because again, mortal wounds are put down 1 at a time, and so we put a mortal wound on this fellow, and then the next mortal wound has to go on the wounded fellow, and therefore would be this fellow, and then we put a mortal wound on this fellow, and the next mortal wound has to go on a wounded fellow, so that one kills that fellow, and then we put it, and so on, until 3 are gone. Half the squad gone in the shooting phase. Okay, now this is just an average roll. We'll do it once more. Now he'll charge in. Woo! That's the official charge sound. Okay, the Bale Mace I'm not going to choose, so I've got 3 attacks, and I have to choose one of the weapons that are melee to choose. I'm not going to choose the Bale Mace or the Titanic Feet. I'm going to choose the Electro Scourge to do all of my attacks. However, it says for the Bale Mace, which is his cute little tail, each time the bear fights, it makes D3 additional attacks with this weapon. So I don't have to choose it, and it'll still do D3 attacks. So I'm going to do that. But first we're going to go Electro Scourge, which has 3 attacks, but it says each time an attack is made with this weapon, you make 3 hit rolls instead of 1. That's 9 attacks. Our weapon skill is 3+. And nothing special beyond that. Take out the fails. That's 6 hits. The strength is the user, which is 8, which is double them, so wounding on 2+. Double their toughness. I got 3 ones. Wow. The Electro Scourge is AP -2, so they save on 5s instead of 3s. 1 save, 2 fails. Each one is 3 damage. So down to go. Okay. And and now the Bale Mace gets to attack with D3 attacks. 2 attacks. So we're going to roll our hit rolls. 3+. 2 successes. Strength is 8, so 2+ to wound. 2 wounds. AP -2, so they need 5s to save. 1 is a success, 1 is a fail. The fail takes 2 damage. Boop. And now it is their turn to fight back. We're not going to bother with that. It'll basically do very little. He's got 24 wounds. Let's try that again. All right, take 2. Heavy stubber. Heavy 4. 3s. All hits. 3s. Saves on 3s. No damage from the heavy stubber this time. Volkite Combustor. Heavy 6. 3s. Oh my gosh, 4 2s. Yikes. 2s. 3 mortal wounds coming and another success. They have to save 4+. They saved. That means just the mortal wounds get through. Which wounds 1 and takes out another. So we'll go with you and a wound. So much different. Now he's going to charge in. Boop, boop, boop. And Electro Scourge again. That's going to be 9 dice for that. 3s. Twos. Saving on 5s. 1 success, 3 fails. Each scourge is 3 damage, removes 3 guys. Bale Mace has how many attacks? Only 1 extra attack. 3s, hits, wounding on 2s. Success. AP -2, so they need 5s to save. They do not save. That's 2 more damage. 1 guy gone. So that's half the group this time. They'll get to fight back. They might do a bit of damage or they retreat. But him being a vehicle can shoot into combat next round. So let's see what he does. In combat, it's -1 to hit, if I recall correctly, in engagement range. So we're gonna hit on 4s instead of 3s, and wounding on 3s with the heavy stubber. That's success. They save on 3s. They saved. Heavy stubber's not doing damage again. The Volkite Combustor has heavy 6. Hitting on 4s this time. That's 3 hits, wounding on 2s. That is 2 successful wounds. No mortal wounds though. AP -1, so they will save on 4s. They fail and save. That's 3 damage. That's 1 more gone down. And that was the Combustor. Now it will be Electro Scourge again. Electro Scourge does 7 hits, wounding on 2s. Oh, right. 6 wounds, which they have to save at -2. That's 5s. No saves. 3 damage each. That takes all of them out before he even used his Bale Mace again. So he's pretty savage. That's, of course, versus just regular Space Marines. But just to show you kind of how to play him out. Well, I hope you liked my little preview of the Abominant. If you had any questions about it or anything about the Chaos Knights and stuff like that, just let me know. That was from the army set. And in that is also included some war dogs, which I will be assembling, and I'll put out a video on them and how they would play too. I'm going to be doing more of how the model actually plays with the data sheet or the war scroll, depending. So I hope you look forward to that. I will catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.